My guests on Praying at the Speed of Love this December are Clark Strand and Perdita Finn, authors of a book that'll change your life. It has certainly changed mine, The Way of the Rose. The rose being the rosary. As a Catholic kid, I said countless rosaries on my knees with my family around the dining room table in my little Catholic schoolgirl uniform. I no longer have whatever rosary I might have had. I actually don't remember the color or anything about it, but I did inherit my mother's. When she died, I never expected to touch it again. I left Catholicism at 19 while the Vietnam War was raging, but I kept it. I hung it over her favorite picture of Mary that she bought in Florence in 1956. Well, then along comes this book. And it's a complete revelation. So I thought you might enjoy hearing just a wee little bit from The Way of the Rose to give you a sense for why this conversation with Clark and Perdita is essential. The rosary, it turns out, has absolutely nothing to do with the Catholic Church. It has nothing to do with Catholicism. It is an ancient pre-patriarchal, and you know how important that is to me. I'm praying at the speed of love. I'm only interested in pre and post-patriarchal prayer. I do not care. I do not want to focus on, I do not want to study the 5,000 years of prayers of all of the patriarchal religions. So, surprise. The rosary is a garland of prayers woven for the goddess. So in ancient times, our ancient sisters and brothers would create garlands of roses for these statues of Isis holding Horus, all the forms of the goddess, and in May would make these garlands of roses to worship the goddess, maiden, mother, and I don't use the word crone, Murafor, the wise death goddess. So the first rosaries, the reason it's called the rosary is that they were the dried buds of the roses. So it says here, the rosary was a way of grafting devotion to the Virgin onto the rootstock of far older, more earth-centered forms of goddess worship handed down from prehistoric times. They knew, they being the women who said the rosary a gazillion years ago, they knew that all things, including their own bodies, had been born from the sacred womb of Mother Earth, just as they knew that everything would return to her. So, later in the book, there is a chapter on this medal. And if you were raised Catholic, you've seen this before. It's called the Miraculous Medal. This is on my mother's, and I know the camera can't really pick it up. You can't quite see that that is an image of Mary. And it is, I don't know if it's on all rosaries, but it's on a lot of rosaries. Surprise. On the back is proof that this is an ancient goddess worship. Once again, I don't think you can see that, so I'll describe it for you. The image is a capital M with a line, a straight horizontal line through it. My mother never knew this. Rest assured, nobody ever told me that that symbol is the cuneiform word for Inanna. And it's in the book on page 204, but because I underlined it, it's probably impossible to see. It's an M with a straight line through it. The point is that this is actually ancient goddess worship. I know that you will love this conversation with Clark Strand and Perdita Finn on praying at the speed of love. Because if you want to pray at the speed of love, if you want pre-patriarchal prayer, if you want goddess prayer, the rosary, the way of the rose, and episode 19 on praying at the speed of love are perfect for you. Come and discover the prayers said by your ancient, going back 5,000 years or more. This is how your mothers prayed.